good to
Welcome, our darlings, to the pre-stream with Mo in the deep end and Shizzy Wiznut. Oh, sweetie, we ain't here to babysit your feelings. Bless your heart, we are here to laugh, react, and roast every stupid thing you do. You bring the clips, we bring the jokes. We're gonna mock you till our sides split. So grab your drink, mute your pride. We're gonna end when FNL goes live.
just makes me want to dance every time I hear
It
that song.
does. It does. It makes you want to get up and two square, four
Two
square.
Four square? Square
What-
dance,
whatever.
Mo. That's what it's called.
Look, all things physicality. From court or from play yard games to folk dances are just out for Mo.
Well, I don't think it's all out for Mo. I mean, Mo will have you fooled. She would put a hurt down on you. Just saying. If it would
I
come
mean,
to
I
dancing,
never ruled out assault.
and I have, because I had so much fun with this song, Mo. I have to play it again from
I liked
this
it.
morning. It was so good. All right, let's do this. Lord Almighty.
She took a leave, never came back. March turned silent, time went black. Roommate said she'd unpacked and gone, but the kitchen floor sang a different song. But now confession, can't take it back. Voicemail screaming on a murder track. Hey, help me, the lid's on, I got you in this. Caught by your pocket was a perfect witness. Pickup truck rolling midnight light. Said she was asleep, yeah, sure, nice try. Body in a trash bin, rattling loud. Scooby-Doo woulda heard that sound. But now confession, can't take it back. Voicemail screaming on a murder track. Hey, help me, the lid's on, I got you in this. Caught by your pocket was a perfect witness. Bridget Bowie, body's gone. Phone in the river keeps ringing on. New car bought, abandoned fast. Smartest plan ever, no dumbest by half. But now confession, can't take it back. Voicemail screaming on a murder track. Hey, help me, the lid's on, I got you in this. Caught by your pocket was a perfect witness. He said she snapped, so we snapped too. Worst excuse in the criminal zoo. Strangled her down on the kitchen floor. Then forgot his phone was recording more. But now confession, can't take it back. Voicemail screaming on a murder track. Hey, help me, the lid's on, I got you in this. Caught by your pocket was a perfect witness. Now he waits in a cold steel cell, all because his phone rang hell. Worst criminal ever, crown him king. Got caught by his own butt dial.
I've got to share something with you guys, because and I totally forgot about this until I saw someone in my chat, and so I want to give a big shout out to William, to Mr. Kraft there, Phil Kraft, because this is an absolute wonderful story that I think everybody can appreciate. Here we go. Canadian police arrest man driving Barbie Jeep toy during rush hour traffic. The driver of the toy car was found to be impaired and had a suspended license, according to authorities. The man
You're like, look, I can operate the Barbie Jeep. It was the Wrangler I was not allowed to. The kids' Escalade I could not take.
I could take my 3-year-old's Barbie Jeep. Thank you, Philip. Philip sent this to me. Thank you very much, Philip. If you haven't checked out Philip's channel, he's got all kinds of crazy stuff like this. Show him some love. And if I got a mod that can throw his channel up there, that'd be awesome, because Philip is good people. And he says, a man has been arrested after police spotted him driving what appears to be a Power Wheels Barbie Jeep Wrangler in the morning rush hour traffic. According to a report by Prince Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the man was intoxicated and had a suspended
You don't say.
license. Man, I had to go get my 40. What you doing, man?
I mean, it would have been a more shocking headline. Totally sober man drives Barbie truck down Canadian highway for lols.
But do you think? I think that he should get off on this. I really do. I mean, I think it should
That
be
might
like.
be why he's driving.
Well, he goes, hey, I didn't want to hurt anybody. Who did I hurt in this? I slowed down traffic. That's it. I mean, come on.
Probably that car's axles. Let's be real. Aluminum spokes could not handle that.
Well, it'll have, I mean, listen to this. It says around 9 a.m., police officers in Prince George, British Columbia, say spotted a man driving a toy car down 15th Avenue near Nicholson Street in the midst of traffic-heavy morning rush. This obviously presenting a danger. The police stopped the driver. Well, during the stop, authorities say that saw the signs that the man in the toy car might be impaired. He was asked to perform 2 breath tests, and they both reportedly resulted in showing he was over the legal limit. Police also discovered the man had a suspended license. He was being responsible. The man was arrested.
He should take a big wheel.
Well, at least he was prohibited from driving. He was issued a 90-day driving ban. I don't see... I think they should have said, get back on the sidewalk. Like, don't drive in the middle of the road, but get on the sidewalk, you'll be fine. So what if he's
if it was Indiana, it'd have been a lawnmower.
True. In Oklahoma, it would have been a horse. Yeah. Where were the square wheels? Well, the Power Wheels Barbie Jeep Wrangler is designed for children 3 to 7 years old and a maximum weight of 130 pounds. Now, he could easily be under 130 pounds. I mean, I don't know how tall he is, but he doesn't look very, very tall.
No, I mean, he could be skirting it, right?
He could be like 98 pounds soaking wet. I don't know. Well, based on the image released by the PGR, I'm just going to say the Royal Police, it seems safe to assume the man caught driving this on his road exceeds both those parameters. The toy Jeep also has a top speed of just about 5 miles an hour. That's faster than he can bicycle.
True.
Now
I'd kind of like to see him rollerblade, though. So could that be a crime, or could that be a punishment?
Well, I know, like in certain places, like there is a where was it? St. Simons, Georgia. We played a show down in St. Simons, Georgia, and I found out that they have such thing as a BUI, which is bicycling under the influence. And they like because what like the locals would do is they would go down to the bar, they would get knockered off their ass, and then they would ride a bike home, and they would run stop signs and stoplights, and they'd get hit by tourists, and they were just like, yeah, we got to stop that. So if you're intoxicated, we'll give you a BUI.
How could you ride a bike? while intoxicated. I foresee not
Practice.
even getting down the street. I foresee.
Lots of practice. And trust me, these guys have some talent. We're talking about people that, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and they sit on the pier and fish all day. And then, around noon, they start drinking. They might be sitting on the pier drinking. They may just, be drinking the whole day through.
I mean, you have to have things to do. Everyone's got a to-do list.
Chaos. Dudley Do Right pulled him over. That's right. Son. Hey. George Jones did it on a lawnmower. Well, I don't know. I've never done it with George Jones, but thank you. Well, was it good? I mean,
He's no Roy Orbison, but what is you gonna do?
hey, I mean, you get it where you can, ladies. I mean,
Like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
professionals. All right. Last week we ended on we ended halfway through this particular one. So I figured, because we love Old Squishy's Gardener, and if you haven't checked out
Yes.
Old Squishy's Gardener, you got to check it out and give some subs. Go give some views, because he
Yes.
gets he does this all day long.
He finds all the funnest stuff.
Yes. So we're finishing up with Soft Sit here. This guy is strenuous on the brain.
Probably not, because that's just what the law is. And I know what the law is based on my experience. And I may or may not be the trial judge if it goes that far, but I just know that to be the case. So we're going to stop here for a second because but don't leave, because it's at 2:30. And we have some other people coming on at 2:30. We're going to take care of those cases. And then I'll come back and speak with you some more. All right?
I understand you believe all that nonsense, but I'm going to have a trial by jury, not a jury trial. A jury trial is 6 people that only consider the facts. And basically, juries have been neutered since the rules of evidence have been implemented in the 1936. But this jury is going to hear the
Was
law
Bob
as well as the
Barker
facts. And I'm
aware
just
of
curious. I
Was
would
that
like
the
to know how
Barker
the judge
Amendment
would.
of the rules of evidence.
It must be like during Roosevelt, they changed rules of evidence. Judge trying not to crack up. Exactly. Oh my God. Mo started as a teenager.
How the court would stop me from communicating with the jury.
Oh, no.
Well, that's a good question. I guess you'll find out if you take this to trial. But we're going to stop for a minute. I'm going to there's a couple people who we're going to take these cases, and then we'll come back to you. But don't leave. Okay, so Mr. Blatt, I'll come back to you. So I think when last we talked, you said you wanted said a trial by jury or a jury trial. To me, again, that's
No, I did not say that. I want to be left alone. That's what I said.
okay.
Well, that's sort of
I mean, I
obvious.
kind of feel him. I too like to be left alone. I get that.
But you don't drive without a license, right? Because you would
Yes,
prefer to be
but
left
he
alone.
isn't driving. He's traveling, Shizzy, in his land boat, and he's not contracting with any state.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't have to contract with the state, but it's a forced contract. If you don't like it, there's the door. I mean, you can just take your happy ass over to go watch some donkey shows for all I care. I mean, don't matter to me if you don't
Does
like our
Mexico
country.
have sovereign Mexicans, I guess?
So they would be citizens.
Citizens, sovereign.
Yeah, they're called cartel.
Fair point.
It's like, oh, you're pulling me over. Boom, boom, boom. I guess you weren't. Jack, good call. Blatt sounds like both a cuss word and a slur.
It kind of does.
Herschel from The Walking Dead. Yes, that's exactly who it reminds me of. Herschel. Does he have a gimp suit? I don't know. You could always ask him. I'm sure he would share it with you. I mean, you don't have to do these things alone. I'm telling you, Wim.
Okay. Well, again, that's what everybody wants. So do I. But nonetheless, where you're at right now, you're charged with driving with license suspended in the 3rd degree. And you had made the distinction, I think you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't mean to misstate things. You were making a distinction between jury trial and trial by jury. And I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that.
Well, a trial by jury.
Makes you want to be on a jury, doesn't it? You're gonna get neutered. No, I don't want to serve jury. Does that mean you're gonna cut the off? No, we're not doing that.
Brings a whole new meaning to foreperson.
Yeah. Start calling the 4-person foreskin. Mo's, I can see Mo in jury duty. They go, we're looking for a 4-person. And Mo goes, I'll be the foreskin.
It'd be like, look, I'm willing to take a little off the tip.
Which is what we used to have before the passage of the 19th Amendment, when women got the right to vote and therefore got the right to sit on juries.
Oh my God, he's
Juries
speaking
had
my
the right to
language.
investigate the.
Mo, this guy is loving you right there. Oh,
Is he arguing that juries, because they involve women, are now inherently untrustworthy and unconstitutional?
yes, I love
Sir,
it.
have you decided to join our He-Man woman hating club?
Don't hate women. You know, it's just I think they make better sandwiches than men. Stop. You're gonna get my ass kicked.
I can't believe that he was like, it's the women's fault the juries got neutered.
Oh, we got to hear that again, because that was awesome.
If I'm wrong, I don't mean to misstate things. You were making a distinction between jury trial and trial by jury. And I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that.
Well, a trial by jury, which is what we used to have before the passage of the 19th Amendment, when women got the right to vote and therefore got the right to sit on juries. Juries had the right to investigate the crime scene, to consider the law, to nullify. Basically, it was a trial by jury. Now it's a jury trial where the jury's neutered. There's only 6 of them. They're cut in half, and they're not allowed to. They're scurried out of the courtroom every time there's important adult issues to consider.
Important adult issues to consider. Well, that's what happens whenever you cut their balls off. Whenever you turn them into women, this is what happens.
Yeah, I do find his He-Man, lady hating, at odds
Endearing.
with at odds with the yin and yang, but kind of.
It's just, do you expect him to like go, to go, I was a kickboxer. I got a Lamborghini.
I just need to because he kind of had me with the 19th Amendment, but then were women responsible? Were they only going to pay for, 98 cents on the dollar for every female juror? So they dropped it down to just 6 male jurors to make sure.
Him putting these together made no sense. Evening, Linda Lazier. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, yes, this is so hilarious.
Like children, and that's just nothing. That's not a trial by jury. But anyway, I have a dispositive motion right now that might settle everything here.
Okay, we'll set that for a motion hearing, though. We do those on Monday morning. Did you file it in writing?
I'd like to do that. I prefer everything to be in writing. So can we schedule a motions hearing?
We certainly can. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about, it again appears to me, well, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, I am going to find, based on, there's a police report filed in sector. Based on that, I'm going to find that probable cause exists. And then we're going to set conditions of release, which basically are make all your court dates, don't drive without license or insurance, and don't have any other criminal law violations. Based on our conversation thus far, it appears to me that you wish to represent yourself at trial. that
I
true?
don't understand. I don't understand that terminology. I am myself, so why would I want to represent myself? Only corporations need to be represented because they can't speak for themselves in court. I'm not a
What is he talking about? Representing?
because he
Represent.
can't. Yeah, yeah. Now I can't speak because I can barely speak coherent English on a good day. That being said, I'm not being an obstreperous asshole who acts like he knows things. So
Yeah. Here's the problem that he's trying to do. And, you know, we've seen this before. He's trying to use every single word and pick out every single syllable instead of using the correct terminology for it. You're not representing yourself when you're representing yourself. so he's
oh my
just
gosh, it'd be funnier though if he said, "Oh, I am going to represent myself," and he put on a hat. Hello, I'm me with a hat.
I'm me with a hat.
I have represented
corporation.
myself.
I'm a human being.
So you wish to proceed to
Wait, no, you're not a human being. You are a Homo sapien. Let's get it right there, Bubba. You're not a bean. Beans grow on vines. I don't see you as being a vine dweller.
Eh,
She has diapers on, I'm sure. Maybe.
trial without a lawyer.
No, I wish to be left alone. That's my only
Okay.
wish.
But yeah, that's true. But that's one that's not going to happen in terms of this case. It is set for trial. The trial will take place. And my question to you is, you have the right to have a lawyer with you during trial. And you also have the right to go it alone, all by yourself. And so, Mike, those are your two options. Which of those do you wish to take?
Well, I have some concerns about being represented by an attorney because attorneys in
That's not what he asked you. It's like asking someone a yes or no question and they go into some soliloquy about their mother. It's like, that wasn't the question. It was a yes or no question.
no, Shizzy, we need to hear about this man's concern because he's already explained to us the woman to neutered pipeline, and I need more of this man's wisdom.
Is that what they mean by third eye blind? Sorry.
I guess.
Well, I have some concerns about being represented by an attorney because attorneys in this state are licensed and franchised to make a living in the plaintiff's courtroom only at the pleasure of the plaintiff, right?
No.
Well,
I mean, you're under you have a lot of unfortunate and incorrect impressions. You really do. And that's really unfortunate. And I'm trying to, let you know. And again, you're just wrong about a lot of things. And I'm sorry about that.
Does the plaintiff have the power to disbar the attorney if the
No,
plaintiff-
absolutely not. I don't know why you would think that. That's completely not true.
Well,
No, anybody has the opportunity to fire their attorney if they're given important representation. But as far as disbarring an attorney, I've never heard that before. No, the plaintiff can't disbar an attorney. They can file a complaint with the bar and then the bar can disbar them. But dismiss? No, he said disbar. That's completely different. But unless you're saying, can he hit him with a baseball bat and therefore disbar him? I mean, here's the problem with a lot of folks. They coming into these things, they're making the wrong argument. They've got terminology that only means something to them. They're crazy. I know. My point was, did you mean dismiss? Maybe that could be that's his O face
Maybe
right there.
Maybe he means debone. I'm going back to this neutered thing. I think it has a nexus.
Oh, you mean like getting rid of the boner? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, this guy could make John Holmes lose his boner. I'm just saying.
personally know attorneys who have been blacklisted because the courts don't like the way they defend clients because they do it too effectively. For example, Lee Eckhart was not disbarred because he never did anything wrong, but he was blacklisted, which means any client he hired automatically lost. And he had to
Okay.
inform each client that wanted to hire him.
I'm not,
He would
again, I'm
lose.
not,
Or maybe he just sucked as an attorney.
Yeah,
Do you ever think of that?
no, Shizzy. There is never a simple explanation such as that. There is always a nexus between the aliens, Bigfoot, and Bob Barker.
What F planet did this guy fall off of? Yeah, that's only Deuce who's been blacklisted. No. He's been deballed. He's been neutered.
I don't know anything about that individual. I don't know anything about that. You're asking me, I guess, in this court, whether, or just generally, whether the plaintiff, in this case would be the prosecutor, has the right to disbar attorneys. And the answer to that is no, they don't.
The plaintiff is the state of Washington, because
Well,
Washington.
in the city of Tumwater, in this case, remember we talked about that.
Yeah, but the city of Tumwater is a subdivision of the state of Washington.
No.
But they can still bring case. So again, what do you want to do for your upcoming trial in terms of an attorney?
That's right. Bring him
or,
back.
have one with you or go it alone?
I'm not sure I need an attorney at this point, because we'll have to
So
see what.
again, that's
the
a binary
prosecutors-
choice. So then from that, I can tell you, you're choosing to go it alone. And have you ever done this before? Have you ever conducted a trial of any
Hey,
sort?
little D.
Just look at my record.
That's, again, I can see your
Yeah, we
record, but
have.
that, none of it tells me whether or not you've done a trial by yourself before.
Then look at his
So, Mr. Blatt, have you
convictions.
ever conducted a trial before by yourself?
I didn't come here to answer questions. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then I'm gonna talk and then we're gonna set a date. And then
This man is ridiculous.
I
we'll
love it.
conclude the hearing.
I need to bring something to your attention, if I may.
I'm sorry?
Point of order.
I need to bring something to your attention. The United States Constitution, at Article 1, Section 1, states that when the state is a party, which is this case, excuse me. You get the glasses.
Well, let me get my glasses because I can't read the fine print.
That's because it's printed in wingdings.
When the state, it says in all cases in which a state shall be a party, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. This is in the United States Constitution. Now, the Washington State Constitution says that a frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is necessary. This is a fundamental principle. When the
Son, you gotta understand the fundamental principles before you can say this stuff. But he doesn't understand those even. They have they have to look like peanut M&Ms, bad duck.
state is accusing a citizen of a crime against the state, the state can't take the defendant to trial in its own court. That would be a conflict of interest. It has to take it to a neutral court, which is the United States Supreme Court.
No,
It says it clearly.
you have to work your way to that. See, that is the final court that you would take it to. So and here's the thing, in all honesty, what would happen in most cases? Say you've got a state court and you're found guilty, you could appeal it to the appeals court. And if the appeals court believed that it was worth pushing forward and you lost there, you could appeal it to the next higher court. You could continue appealing it to the higher court until you got it to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court could decide, yeah, we don't even want to look at your case. And by that time, you're millions of dollars in debt because you're going to have to pay those attorney's fees at the end of all this stuff.
Nuh-uh, Shizzy. I'm waiting for him to stand up in front of Sotomayor. He is gonna learn her some legal law.
Yeah. That I could imagine. I would love, more than anything, how glorious it would be to have a soft sit argue something in front of the Supreme Court. Keep pushing soft sits. All I say is drive on the wrong side of the road without your license plate and without driver's license, having your little tag on the back. More. just seriously, because I cannot wait to see you get in front of the Supreme Court and try to say that you're in your land boat traveling, and see how long that lasts. Because I would love to see that argument in front of the Supreme Court, because you'd be playing by their rules at that point in time, and their rule. And what are you going to do? Well, you don't have the maritime flag. What the fuck are you talking about? They would have you locked away so fast it would be beautiful.
It would
We
be.
hear it, Article 1, Section 1 in the United States Constitution.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
again, I'm going to speak
Love
for a
it,
few minutes,
OSG.
and then I'm going to turn it back to you, and we're going to set a date here. And again, I don't, first of all, this case is headed for trial. And again, it doesn't appear that you're interested in having an attorney appointed to represent you, so you'll be going it alone. When you have the constitutional right to do that, but you need to know that you're not an attorney. Apparently, you have very low opinion of attorneys generally, and
all do.
and a very low opinion of the system itself.
Yeah, same.
But
I have no problem
the
with
city
the
of,
law.
hang on, let me finish. I'm not done yet. The city of Tumwater is going to be represented, and I know you don't like that term either, by an attorney. That attorney is trained in the rules of evidence, trained in the rules of procedure, been through trial many times. And again, I don't know whether you have or not. And so they are experienced in the rules of evidence, which is important. You spoke disparagingly of the rules of evidence earlier. And they have training in that, which again is important. And I'm going to assume you don't. And many of the things that you talked about, you're incorrect on. It's unfortunately, you're just incorrect about some things. And so you're going to be at a big disadvantage when you go to trial without an attorney going it alone. Do you understand this?
Isn't it the prosecutor's job to decide whether I'm wrong on issues? You're supposed to be neutral. The prosecutor hasn't even argued against me, and you're already saying that I'm wrong.
No, I'm trying to, believe it or not, and you probably won't, I'm actually trying to help you, let you know that this is just the way things are going. This is the way that this will happen. I'm not siding with the prosecutor. I'm just saying that this is what, and it's not the
I'm looking ahead into the future, and I'm seeing that you are fucked. That's what he's
Yeah.
saying. It's like, get yourself an attorney, have him represent you in something as minor as a traffic court case, pay your fine, move on. But I'm telling you right now, because you don't know what you're doing, you are going to get your ass handed to you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything that you presented through in front of me, if you try this stuff in court, no. Hey, Linda Lazier, good to see you, says Loveless in the soft sits. They're so dumb. They're
They
actually
are.
quite smart. They just misapplying it. It's everything.
prosecutor's
Yes.
job really to decide what the prosecutor and defense, they disagree all the time on what the law is or what should be. And then I'm the one who gets to decide one way or the other. But some of the things that you're saying are so outside the norm that I don't need to hear from them. And I'm trying to let you know that what you think is going to happen and what you think the way things work is simply just not correct. And, I'll go back to that fundamental, I can't speak to the way juries were back in the 19th century. I just know how they are now. And I know that the jury's job in the cases of this sort is to find facts. That's what it is. And the judge is going to instruct them on the law. That's how it is.
Yes.
And the judge is going to determine what's going to be admissible or what's not. And that's just the way the trial is going to go. And I'm trying to let you know that is just to give you advance warning. So when you're in the middle of a trial saying, hey, what's going on here? You just at least have an idea of what's coming. That's all I'm trying to do. And I want to make sure that if you go to trial alone, you're going in with open eyes, understanding that you're at a fairly huge disadvantage. And so, but knowing all that, that's still the avenue you want to take.
You said the jury's job is to decide the facts, but there's no facts to decide because I'm
Well, of
I'm
course not. We're on
acknowledging all the
trial.
facts. I'm acknowledging all the facts. I'm not going to challenge them. I'm not going to fight with the prosecutor about what the prosecutor wants to fight about. My issue is the law. And I'm not saying the law is wrong. It's a question of whether the law, this particular law that I'm charged under, applies to me, whether I'm a person within the meaning of the statute. Now, the jurors are taxed to pay legislators to make up laws for their benefit, yet they're not allowed to know.
You know, this is one of those conversations you have with your buddies whenever you're like, might be doing some of the devil's lettuce, sitting around the fire pit at 2 o'clock in the morning, having some tequila or whatever it is that you're doing. I don't care. This is the conversation you have with them and convince them, because their minds are really malleable at that point in time, probably a little bit squishy, like old squishy gardener. So just saying, if you want to have these conversations, this is the place to have the conversations. In a court of law, it ain't going to fly.
This judge is so much more patient, because I'd be like, okay, I've had enough. We're not going to have another round of Grandpa Says. No, I'm telling you, you're going to look like a dumbass if you come in here without a lawyer. Now, personally, I don't care, because it is my special kind of human achievement collection to watch dumbasses make themselves look stupid. That being said, my patience will come to an end, and then you're going to be held in contempt.
And then you'll be spending even more money for being an asshat.
What the laws are. Don't you think there's something wrong with that?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I guess my response to that is, I think most people are aware that when you get behind the wheel of an automobile and conduct it in traffic, you need a license. And there are certain things that can happen that can get your license suspended. I think most people know that.
Well, my position is I never had a license, never applied for a license, and I was not engaged in traffic. I was engaged in travel. Traffic is going to be the issue at this trial.
I thought you,
And,
wait, I thought you,
well,
I
it-
thought the issue was whether you were a person. You keep changing the issues here. Are you
Well,
a person, or is it travel or traffic?
Well, it depends on whether he's a traveler, whether he's trafficking, whether he's on the road, not on the road. I mean, you would just be better off getting a Barbie Jeep Wrangler and driving it down the middle of the road, shit-faced drunk, because he would
That's
probably
it.
have
Sav
less
sits, you are
problems.
allowed to travel in Moe's America when I am president, as long as you do it in the best RC car you can find.
I have a better one. The hobby horses.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes, that's what I think they should do. They should do it on hobby horses. You can travel all you want to. Just make sure that you stay out of traffic unless you're picking up a ball.
Yes.
It'll be up to the
It's
jury,
convenient.
it'll be jury determined whether you were in traffic or traveling. That's,
Excellent.
and
That's
the
what I
issue
wanna
that you
hear.
said, well, I never had a license, so it couldn't be suspended. I've seen people try this before and I've never seen it work. And so
License,
but here's what we're gonna have, hang on just a second. Here's what we're gonna do today. So right now, trial is set for October 29th and 30th. Jury confirmation is set for October 22nd. You said
Now, just so you guys know, Old Squishy has a spreadsheet that has this date on there. So if you're trying to keep up with the date, don't worry. Old Squishy's got you. Because Old Squishy, and I heard this from MG, and I was like, are you serious? It's like, yes, Old Squishy, whenever these court cases come up, has a whole spreadsheet that keeps track of every single one of these court cases so he can see them through to the end. And
Oh,
if you
wow,
haven't,
that's a great idea.
I know Old Squishy's like on top of this stuff. It's like he's got it down to a system, you know. So
That is-
if you're sitting there going, oh, Old Squishy just record. No, Old Squishy pays attention to this stuff and knows when this stuff is happening. So you should make sure that if you're not subbed up to Old Squishy, that you should be. Most definitely.
you had a motion you want to bring. You can,
Several.
that'll be heard on, what do we do? Yeah. That'll be heard on October 20th. You need to have that filed in writing by October 6th. And the state will have the response filed by October 13th.
Your Honor, if we could please request the defendant's email address so that the response motion can be sent to him as he's not per se.
Did you hear that, Mr. Blatt?
Not really.
They want it because so you're gonna file something and they're gonna see it. They should have the opportunity to respond to it. And they want to get their response to you, and they want to do that through email.
That's fine.
So what is your email? Did you get that?
I did, thank you.
All right, Mr. Blatt, I think that's it for today. And then at that particular time, the judge, whether it's me, whether it's one of the other judges here, I don't know.
Hopefully it'll be a less patient judge.
Yeah.
How many judges work in this court that could be on this case?
All of them.
Four, okay.
That's what I would have told them. All of them. All of the judges that are here could possibly be working on it.
And it could be that they're on a rotation, that one does the Monday hearings, that, you know, and then once it's assigned a case, it's whoever's on that week or what have you.
Well, and also if they're circuit judges, there's a possibility that there might be 3 judges that have criminal cases that might be, you know, involving a jury trial that could last, you know, a couple of weeks. So, you know, that's why they have so many judges, so they can rotate in and out. People can cover those cases. Nobody gets left, you know, in the cracks. T42, after your last heart attack, your memory sucks. Is your heart attached into your brain? I don't know. Mine might be.
I was about to say, I can't remember why I go into rooms sometimes. And I knew why I was going in there before I went in there. Then when I get in there, it's like...
My favorite is looking for my wife's keys, because she goes, well, you should know where they're at. I'm like, no. Or whenever she goes, hey, it's in my purse. I just carry her purse to her. She goes, why are you carrying my purse over? They're right here. I was just like, I'm not going through there, because all I think of is there's probably like really sharp razor blades or something in there, and it'll cut my fingers and that bleed. And I don't want to bleed all over your purse. Do you want me to bleed all over your purse? Here, just you tell me where there. You pull it out. Lack of oxygen to the brain. Well, that's a daily thing for me.
Your body's acclimatized.
Yes. I mean, you know, this is what happens whenever you start getting a little bit older. You know, the oxygen doesn't quite reach the brain. It reaches the other parts of your body that, you know, are still working.
Can I have their names?
Sure. There's Kayla Wilcox, Brett Buckley. You already know my name. And then there's a commissioner named Paul Wool. It's all on the district court website. You can just go look at it.
Okay.
Oh, that would take common sense and work, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And my guess is that judge, whoever hears the motion, is probably going to have a conversation with you again, or at least try to, about the concept of representing yourself. And, and again, I know you hate that word. I'm sorry if that offends you in some way, but or going to trial alone without the assistance of an...
Do you think this guy could ever be offended? I don't think he could be.
No, I think he's offended by a lot.
Well, I don't think he...
Reflective is, and especially self-reflective, never.
No. Well, the thing is I joke about this because my wife is always concerned about me because I stop breathing when I sleep. So I'm sure there's a lack of oxygen that goes to my brain quite often. I try to make light of it, so don't take it the hard way. But I'm constantly like, my wife's like, you'll be snoring, and then all of a sudden you stop breathing for like 5 minutes, and it worries me. She was like, will you go see a sleep specialist? I was like, no. I was like, because I know what the problem is. She was, what's the problem? I go, I'm fat and I'm old. No, I just need to remove the soft palate, because, you know, the Abdullah or whatever they call that thing is hanging down my throat.
Uvula?
Yeah, the Abdullah, it hangs down in my throat. Sounds so kinky.
Attorney. That's just,
I never expressed hate for any statute or attorney or wording or the
I don't say that. Again, I'm not suggesting you are. I think that, or if I did use that term, I apologize. I just think that,
Stop apologizing.
I've spent a lot of time with this because I just think you're under some misunderstandings of a lot of real basic points. And, in terms of we're here in district court, the state of Washington, you want to talk a little constitutional law, state of Washington Constitution sets superior courts of courts of records. It's also in the Constitution that they can set and create such inferior courts as, by statute through the legislature. The legislature has done that. They have established this level of court through Chapter 3 in the Revised Code of Washington, if you want to look there.
Oh, the judge is just schooling him just like that. I mean, if you didn't catch what the judge was saying, it's like all of the little arguments that he was making, the judge is summarizing it down into boilerplate and just telling the guy, you're misinformed, you're wrong, because it says here, 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 here.
Shizzy, he's
I
not
love-
listening. This is the problem with these people. You could be, breaking it down better than Ben Shapiro. It would require this man to listen and believe that you are actually speaking the true law, which you are not, because you didn't mention Black's Law Dictionary. So he does not believe you.
Oh my gosh, I had a heart attack, didn't lose my brain. Now my analyzm. Sorry, that's bad.
There's also a mechanism in place where district courts can contract with municipalities to provide court services. All this stuff has been litigated through the Court of Appeals and the Washington State Supreme Court. And again, it's just pretty standard stuff. And I've tried to spend some time explaining it to you. Unfortunately, I don't think I've been very successful. I'm sorry about that. I wish I was more successful, but you can research all that out. And I guess when you talk about one thing I will go back to that I should have said earlier, when you say the jury, you want to argue the law to the jury and shouldn't they know the law and so forth. A lot of that happens in the Court of Appeals and the Washington State Supreme Court. Again, I'll instruct the jury or whoever the judge is, whether it's me or one of my colleagues, will instruct the jury on the law. The jury will decide the facts and then apply the law as I instruct them to it. Now, if I'm wrong about the law and you turn out to be right, all that's handled at the appellate level. You would file an appeal if you're convicted.
Yep.
And then you would, the first superior court would look at it and see if I made a mistake on the law, or you're right on the law. And then it keeps going up all the way to the Court of Appeals and then eventually to the Washington State Supreme Court, all they may or may not choose to take it. And so that's where the issues of law are decided.
Everything you just said about the evolution of the law is true. However,
Thanks.
the Washington
Thanks.
State Constitution says that a frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is necessary for a free state. That's
Okay.
what it says. So that means we eventually get so convoluted to oppress citizens of the state that we have to go back to fundamental principles.
Right. And again, I do want to address your last thing, in terms of oppression. Again, let's remember what we're talking about here. And that is your license was suspended and you were alleged to have been driving. I know you have to say, well, you were traveling or whatever. And that's just, again, the only issue is, were you conducting an automobile and was your license suspended? And that's it. That's what this case is all about.
An automobile is different from a motor vehicle, and I believe the statute refers to motor vehicles. Motor vehicle.
Yeah,
Motor vehicle, automobile, two-legged horse, it doesn't matter. Were you traveling in some sort mode of transportation that was going from one way to the other? Because it seems like you want to just change the definition and you're just going to get your ass handed to you and you're wasting time. He has a
Yes, but so is the judge is wasting time because again, this
Well, it might be a
man has-
slow day in court. It might be a slow day in court. He
It
doesn't
might be.
have
He
any other
might-
people there.
He might like hearing himself talk. He might enjoy, trying to educate these people. I don't know.
Well, he's got nothing else to do today. I mean, might as well school this guy a little bit and just it's have that last word complex that both of these guys have.
They do.
I could just imagine, if you look at this picture, it almost looks like it's the same person, except one has a little more hair. I would
It's like
suggest,
Goofus and Galliant from the
yes.
Highlights magazine.
Yes. What they need is they need a couple of like really stiff drinks, maybe a couple of things of the devil's lettuce, go sit out by the fire pit and have this conversation. Because it's going to be about as pointless as what they're doing right now.
Yes.
Motor vehicles encompass a lot of things. A motor vehicle can be a motorcycle, it can be an automobile, it can be, and I think that that's generally pretty accepted that an automobile is a motor vehicle.
No, a
I
motor
mean, I
vehicle,
believe that it is,
a motor
unless
vehicle
it
is
runs by, unless it's the Flintstones where they just run on the ground, then that's not a motor vehicle, but I'm joking, perhaps I shouldn't be.
a motor vehicle.
Mo got it. Mo got it. She's just like, yes, Judge.
At this point, again, Judge, this is fine. You do you, boo. You go ahead. You
It's
have
a
fun.
specific legal term in commerce. It's a business machine, like a truck, a taxi, or a bus that makes its business on the publicly funded roadways, which it does not have a right to do. A
And
person
see,
who,
again, in Washington, and again, a motor vehicle includes a car. It does. And again, where do you get your driver's license? You go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV. That's where you get a driver's license for cars. And
Well,
so
when
it
you-
makes sense that, and again, I don't want to, we're going down a rabbit hole that was really not productive for either one of us, frankly, but
You just
again, I'm
figured
just
this
telling you
out.
that a motor vehicle includes automobiles within the terms of this statute in this state. It just does. And you
I'll
can
just
argue
I'll address this in my brief.
otherwise, but you're not going to be successful.
I'll address this in my briefs and my motions, but of course, the prosecutor and you will just pretend like you haven't even read it, like it. I've been through this
Well, I
many
don't-
times. Been through this many
No, I
times.
can't-
Oh, now you're accusing him of something that you don't know for a fact, because I guarantee you this judge reads every fucking thing that comes across his desk, as he's required to do. That's part of his job. He doesn't just sign off on it. He reads it. And
No.
he's like that third grade math teacher that's sitting there going, no, incorrect, wrong, check your spelling, you're an idiot, what in the hell were you thinking? And gives you an F, a big fat F right there. And no, F does not mean future scientist. It means you fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Judges-
Okay, I'm going to stop you again. I won't speak for the prosecutor, but if it's me, I'll read it. I'll read all of it.
But my experience has been, I'm sorry to say it, to
Well, your experience sucks, and that's your problem. That's a you thing, boo.
accuse you,
Yeah.
but my experience has been that judges will just pretend that they haven't read it. They'll say,
Oh.
I read it and I found it's not correct.
Well,
But they
you
never
can-
talk about.
that doesn't mean that they didn't read
No,
it.
Yeah, just because they didn't agree with you doesn't mean they didn't read it. No, they probably just couldn't understand why they were getting crayon scribblings.
Well, they're very hungry. Judges eat crayons too, so
True.
lay off of them.
They never talk about the issues.
Again, I don't want to talk about things that haven't.
Because the issue is not an issue. It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
It's not the same thing. What is this man?
A coffee stain is just that. It's a coffee stain. You're not sitting there going, "Oh, I can tell that you were a scientist in a future world." They don't read tea leaves. They read the fucking law. So last I knew, an automobile has a motor, so why shouldn't that be included? Well, I mean,
even
You
happened yet.
just
So maybe it'll be me, and then we'll see what happens. But do you know when you need to get your brief due?
By
Your
October
motion?
6th, October 6th,
Yeah.
and the response by October 13th.
There you go.
And we'll all reconvene on October 20th and hash it all out. Whether it's me or one of my colleagues, I don't know.
Okay,
That'll conclude the hearing for today.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you think this guy rides the small bus? I think he does. I think he does ride the small bus.
Yeah, something has to.
Something has to break, and hopefully it's not my brain.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, your appearance.
And this is another one by Old Squishy. We got some Old Squishy videos tonight. It's all old Squishy tonight.
I like it.
If the judge, I would call and say,
Yeah, I'd be like, look, I'm taking a vacation on his trial days.
yeah. What are his trial days? Oh yeah, I'm not going to be here those days. I have to go kick some puppies or something.
I'm going on a trip with Greta Thunberg.
Oh, we're gonna light up the sky with some flares.
Shoot him straight up.
Shoot them straight up and hope they come right back down. Oh,
Is on Singleton.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Steve Allen on behalf of the people.
And good morning to your honor, court staff.
what kind of Willy Wonka guy is this? I'm sorry. Is this one of the Oompa Loompas?
Yeah, he even kind of had like a bow-legged walk. So and he's for the state?
Yeah, he's an Oompa. Just think, the state has an Oompa Loompa. Oh, this would
This
be
is
so
the
cool.
weirdest Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reimagination I've ever seen.
I'm just hoping they start eating the desks and chairs. Ooh, that'll be
Why
so
is
fun.
he in his formal jogging suit? Like,
Oh no, you talking about home chicken over here, right there?
yeah.
Talk- Well, because he's a bicycle messenger
Oh,
or a bicycle seat massager. We haven't figured that out quite yet. It's something close to that.
makes sense.
This judge is gonna just go on him.
Roberts, B86428 on behalf of Mr. Singleton.
Okay, we all love Judge Oakley. Reality checks on defendants. Here's a great one.
Statement in court.
Thank you. What do we got?
Your Honor, with your approval, defendant will plead guilty to 2 counts. He'll plead guilty to count 3, driving while license suspended. And also, Judge, added to count 4, and count 4 is a 1-year misdemeanor known as attempt, fleeing and eluding in the 4th degree, and that would be under the penal code, Judge.
All right.
I'm sorry, just keep expecting him to go oompa loompa oompity doo, like after everything that he says.
I know.
Because he even has the stance of an Oompa Loompa.
He does.
I love it. I love this guy.
And Mr. Singleton, have you discussed your rights and options with counsel? You understand those rights and the options they present to you today? You understand the possible penalty for those 2 charges?
I'm sorry, and I may be all prejudicial and everything, but what in the hell is this haircut, dude? He's got little dreads hanging down.
I mean, I would say that, I think it can look professional, but I don't think this is the professional look that he's going for today.
No. Come into court looking professional. Like seriously, this is something that I don't know. It just sticks in my craw. Like even what was that guy? Crumbly? Is that what his name was? I can't remember the attorney that was handling a case. You remember?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
The prosecutor that drinks so many Cokes. But that guy, as blinged out as it was, which I mocked endlessly anyway, at least he showed up and he looked professional.
He did. He had a nice suit. And, a nice suit doesn't have to be super expensive. Expensive. And you can dress for the job you currently have, maybe one step above, but try to look somewhat professional.
Well, I mean, I see my wife whenever she has to like go into court and stuff like that, and you know, she's wearing outdated clothes. She's just like, whatever. It still looks nice. It's fine. She's not worried about, you know, having the top bling or whatever, but it's still presentable for a court. You know,
Yeah.
she doesn't show up with a low cut top. She doesn't show, which she could easily do. She doesn't show up with, you know, like her makeup and you know, big bouffant or any crap like that. She shows up, looks professional. Like, come on, dude. I'm sorry. I just it always bugs me whenever I see attorneys that look like someone that stepped out of a like Oompa Loompa over here. I mean, dude, comb your hair. I'm sorry. You know, have a little self control. Like both of these attorneys look like they stepped out of like a meme or something. I think the crotch in his suit is too low. It could be.
Charges, attempt, and the driver license amended. Understanding all of that, are you pleading guilty to those charges? Are you doing so freely and voluntarily today? Are you doing so freely and voluntarily? All right, counsel, if you would voir dire, give me the facts I need. Incident date, August 23, counsel, if that's what you're looking for.
On that date and time, Mr. Singleton, were you in a motor vehicle? Were you driving that vehicle? At some point during that evening, did you encounter the police?
Encountered the police?
And did the police flick their lights on to indicate that they were initiating stop? And did you disregard those lights and continue driving down the road? And at the time you were driving down the road, you did understand that those were police officers. Defense is satisfied.
All right. And at that time, was your license suspended, revoked, or denied, sir? I'll accept the plea to the added charge and dismiss original counts 1 and 2. Well, 3 was the charge, GWLS. So I'm inclined to send it for a pre-sentence investigation unless you guys.
DWLS, is that driving while looking stupid? I don't understand.
Yeah, what is a GWLS?
I mean, was he listening to music radio in Chicago or something? The suit on the prosecutor isn't tailored in any way to his body shape. It's of the rack. Well, I understand, but you can still look a little more. I mean, his hair is a complete catastrophe.
Yeah, that is a choice. And to be fair, that's a lot of work for a tailor.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is a little pear-shaped, you know. I understand that that's going to be difficult to like get it to form fit, and
yeah.
And you know, yes, he got it off the rack, but you know, even outside of the suit, he could actually, you know, if you have a mustache or a beard, you can trim that up. If you have like really like, you know, splotchy hair, which it appears that he has, you could go and say, hey, you know, can you trim this up and make it look presentable? I mean, come on, you're an attorney.
It looks like, you know, it wouldn't be at all out of date or out of fashion in the 70s. His look.
He does. It does have a little bit of what's that guy's name? The skeezy one. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. oh God, what is his name? So one of you guys that watches porn, you'll know who I'm talking about from the
Oh,
70s.
Ron Jeremy.
Yes, Ron Jeremy. He does have a little bit of that Ron Jeremy look. See, Mo knows she watches porn from the 70s.
No, I just know really skeevy guy does adult films.
Yes,
Like that's the only name I know.
well, and I'll tell you a funny story. One of my friends, he's married to a very drop dead gorgeous woman. She's just I think it's something in her family genes or something, but she is drop dead gorgeous. And they were in Las Vegas just to, have like a little vacation. He was going to do some gambling, and they're sitting down at dinner. And Ron Jeremy comes over and starts making passes at her, and she's just like, oh, like who in the fuck is this old creepy guy? Like going, oh, darling, you'll make lots of money. She doesn't want for money. Trust me. She doesn't want for money at all. Both his family and her family come from money, and he's independently wealthy. And we're not talking just a few $100,000 a year. We're talking like he runs a business that's very profitable. And she's just looking at him like, I don't think so. And after he left, she was like, who the hell was that? He was like, that's Ron Jeremy. She was like, the porn stars. He was just like, yeah, he was trying to get you to do porn movies.
I do have a question.
She was like, oh my God.
How did he originally, because the man is not aesthetically pleasing at all. How did he become famous?
If I say this, you can't hold me to it. Okay.
Okay.
So Ron Jeremy, whenever he was a bit thinner than he is and a lot younger, he could self-fellatiate.
That seems like something you have to be a certain level of inside cat to have figured this out on your own. Don't ever go full Ron Jeremy inside cat. Look, just don't do that.
You don't clean yourself like that. Just saying that. But that's sort of what made him famous. And you also have to no, ladies, sorry to disappoint you in all your fantasies, but usually whenever you're seeing those male porn stars, they spent years and years not being with females. Just saying that it was a step up to be able to be with a female. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is just ask Mr. Underpants. If you know, you know. And that's all I got to say. What I'll do is I'll give you a little glimpse so you can understand. All you have to do is ask this guy right here. Okay? All you have to do is ask this guy right here. He will tell you everything that you need to know, because underneath that suit of armor, I guarantee you that suit of armor has seen some. I hate Max Murrah for it. I really do, because he had to share it with me. I was like, Max, you are a sick man. You are a sick man.
Well,
it's funny.
You know what they say. Friends don't let friends not see something cringe and horrific.
Yeah. Well, and he started young. That's just
Try to talk me out of it.
This is
sorry, got distracted.
It's going to be under HIDA. I think, this court has.
No objection to HIDA? Sorry to cut you off, Council. All right, go ahead, Council.
Supervision, structure and downtown.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be any issues. Part of these conditions, I think, are they want you that needs to get that license worked on and drive so that license is,
Right.
No
Right.
shit.
So to say, in terms of fines and costs, his family is here, has a lot of support.
Good.
First, last time they did.
No priors? Okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yeah, please.
respectfully recommend reporting probation, no jail, under the useful phase 6.
Thank you. Mr. Singleton, where'd you go to high school? Graduate? You're in your senior year? What's your GPA? Yeah, and in 30 years on the bench, that means it's not nearly as high as it could be. Am I right? What are your plans post high school? Yeah, what do you plan on doing after high school? Okay. What do you have to do to get your driver's license straightened out? Has he ever had a license, counsel?
I think it's gonna take it's.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
It's gonna take it to over the life.
Right. Is that woman with the head bobbing back there, mom? Sister? I'm sorry to hear that. Can I hear from your sister? Because it sounds like she might know more about your business than you do. Is that all right?
Oh, sister's gonna get up there and she's gonna be like, my baby brother. I'm telling you, right now, my baby brother, he's a dumbass, Your Honor. He ain't got no direction. I mean, there was some new direction and he went the opposite damn way. And we've been trying to straighten him out. He don't listen to shit that we tell him. Your Honor, never click on a link from Max.
That is true.
That
But
is
you
true.
learn new things. It's just never the things you always thought you ever needed to know.
Oh, very true.
All right. Ma'am, come on up.
Oh,
State your name for me. Miss Singleton, do you know the status of his license? Come on up here with a microphone so I can hear you better. You're all right, come on up. Because of too many points? Can you run it? Print it out?
oh.
He got in enough to see me. That's too much. And that's too much.
Yeah. Also, ma'am, could you wear not your bonnet to court?
What? I know. I think she just has. I think she has blonde dreads in her
Oh.
hair. I don't think it's a bonnet. It's hard to
Oh.
see. I'm looking at it on a big screen here, and it looks like she's just
know,
got like blonde
Yeah,
dreads.
you're right. I was.
I mean, she's dressed appropriately, except it looks like she's wearing a skirt with pajama bottoms under.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Right down
does
here, it
have-
looks like she's got pajama bottoms underneath. But hey, style. They could be leg warmers. I hear they're
Hey.
coming back in style.
His biggest trouble is because he can't tell me he's doing the best he can in school. I didn't make that kid. And the fact that you're a father is not going to make your life easier without an education. Keep talking off, bud, because I'm getting ready to send you. Keep talking. Keep flapping those jaws.
Oh, he was talking shit.
Oh, you moron. Because this seems like a pretty chill judge, you know. Hey, how are you doing in school? What are your plans?
Well, and here's the problem that this kid doesn't understand. He is not in school and that was one thing that always pissed me off about high school. I would show up because I was there to learn, and I was so pissed off whenever everybody would be sitting there just talking shit to one another. It's just
Yeah.
like. It's like, I'm not like the smartest student. Okay. I'm actually really, really bad at school. And I need to know what the hell this guy is saying up at the front of the place. I'm not trying to be prudish, and I'm all about having fun and, fucking around and cracking jokes and being sarcastic and being, just being a general dumbass. But, this stuff might be easy for you, but it's not easy for me. And you sitting there like doing stupid shit. And it was such a change because I had to take a college course, become a lifeguard. And it was such a different change walking into a room full of adults
Yes.
that were spending money and were there to learn. Because you sit down and there's not a word being spoken. Nobody's poking
No.
fun. They go, okay, this is the information. Everybody's taking notes or whatever it is they might be doing. Any questions weren't just like, so teacher, what panties are you wearing today? It wasn't those kinds of questions. It was
No.
very, very different environment. And it was like, oh, I really like this because I'm actually
Yeah.
learning something. She's a short stack.
So you're
Sorry.
telling me all I need to know about you right now.
So you know, not having this dad is like, music is wrong. There is a lot there.
Absolutely. And it all sucks.
Yeah, that's not the judge's responsibility. I'm not your daddy,
No.
but the state's about to be your daddy if you don't chill the hell out.
It all sucks. But every day this young man gets up and he gets
Love
to
you,
make his own
T42.
choices today. And he's been making bad choices. Keep your dick in your pants. You wouldn't have a kid at 18 without a high school education. Tell me I'm wrong.
He has a kid already.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Once you have a child, that's a lifelong commitment. It stops being about you and it starts being about your kids and what your life is with them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the shop I worked in. This guy shows up and he was wanting to show off this new pistol that he got. And about 90% of the people that were hanging out, you know, were just like, what are you doing? He was just like, man, this is really cool, man. This is great. Look at how beautiful this thing is. It was just like, don't you have like 2 kids that you've got to be responsible for? And do you have permission to carry that? I mean, you know, it's one thing to carry it, but you know what happens if you get pulled over with that thing? You bought it off to some random guy on the street out of a
Yeah.
paper bag. Do you know what happens whenever they run a check on that gun? They find out somebody else owns that thing. You know, and of course, you know, there was that 10% that was just like, oh man, don't listen to those honkies. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And we're all just like, no, listen, right now, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, because I think that you're good people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, whoever fucking sold that to you, you need to give it back to them, get your money back. If they don't give you your money back, take that thing and throw it as far away as you can. Make sure
Yeah.
you wipe all your prints off it, whatever you have to do. Take the fucking hit. Do not carry that thing around. And it wasn't even 3 days later that dude got pulled over and they asked him if he had any firearms. And sure as hell, he goes, no, officer. And comes back, and all those fuckers that were cheering him on, yeah, man, that's awesome. You're fucking so badass. They had nothing to say to him except, oh, the man's trying to hold you down. The rest of us, he comes up and thanks us for making sure that he wasn't carrying something on him that could have possibly got him shot, got him killed, or got him thrown in jail. It's like, you know, and this is a responsibility of all you men, women, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whenever you see somebody screwing up, give them that little bit of advice. They can do with it whatever they want, but they can't come back and say, well, you didn't fucking tell me. You know, and I think that's really incumbent upon, in the same way that this judge is acting. It's like, listen, you're still in high school. You have a kid. And you're already like screwing up. I want you on the right path. And I know you're not going to want to listen to me because you're turning your head and looking the other way and acting insolent.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I don't want to see you back in my courtroom in 5 years because you were robbing somebody because you had no money to feed your kid. And your excuse is going to be, well, I was just trying to feed my kid.
Yeah. And, you know, you should want to be a good example. I mean, yeah, so maybe your child didn't come at the best of, you know, when you planned this.
Yep.
Just because it's a difficult situation doesn't mean you can't make the best out of it.
Right. You're not going to be able to turn back time at all. That time that time was long gone whenever you're getting your jollies. it's done and over with. So here going forward, change your life, change your trajectory.
Yeah, change it so that your child doesn't grow up, not having a dad. You know how much that affected you.
Yep. And if you're worried about how you're not doing a good job being a dad, I guarantee you there is some men in your community. They could be part of your church. They could be part of a youth ministry. They could be part of any single thing, and those men will step aside. There's a guy here in Georgia. There's a guy here in Georgia. He opened up his own school, and what he does is he teaches young black men how to do simple things: work on a car, change out brakes, change out a tire, be safe about things. And these are very good kids that he's got. This is what he spends, this is his contribution to society. And whenever I see guys like this, I'm like, I may not agree with the guy politically, but I can tell you what, I agree with what he's doing with his community, because he's working with his community. He's trying to take young men like this and say, the path that you're going down, it's like you need Jesus, man. You need some Jesus in your life.
Yeah.
And it's they're giving them some guidance, and this is what our communities need: is men giving younger men some guidance. I love it. Oof. And sorry, getting all up on my high horse again.
Well,
Smart man, tell me I'm wrong. Council, come on up. I can't let you have it, but I want you to look at it, because the way I'm reading that, it says he's eligible for restricted right now. But it's been years since I could read those, because they keep changing the format and they keep making them worse. I think he's eligible for driving privileges. Would you agree or disagree?
Suspension effective from July. I don't know how long the suspension would last. I'm fine. I mean, as a condition, I would be fine with either saying he just cannot drive without a valid license, and that would kind of solve the issue.
All right.
Your Honor, can I address the court?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Rob. If he's convicted of suspended license, as you all know.
It's gonna, yeah.
Your permission, Judge, I would like to have him plead instead of reckless driving count 2. I think there will be more than 9 versus driving record.
I don't know that points.
It's gonna be 6 points versus 2. The DWS is 2 points.
Judge, if I may,
I'll tell you what, hold on. Let's get outside the box a little bit. If you want to be generous, let him plead to allowing an unlicensed driver to operate, which is the same thing you'd give her if she let him drive when he was suspended, right? No points. All right. Won't stop you from straightening his license out. And I'm going to require that he get his license before he's off this HIDA, or I won't give him HIDA.
Nice. That's fucking
You understand
awesome.
that? So he just agreed to save you 2 points and another suspension period. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
When are you supposed to graduate? Mid-year or spring?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Singleton, I'm going to do a 12-month delayed sentence under Holmes Youthful Trainee Act. I'm not going to assess any money. You will report to my probation department on a regular basis, and that could be by email. They'll work that out with you. I'm assuming you can give them transportation a couple times. All right, so as long as you're on track for the first month or 2, they'll probably let you just do it on email. I'm going to require that you get your driver's license straightened out before the 12 months is up. I'm going to require that you get a high school diploma before the 12 months is up. And I'm also going to order 30 hours of community service charity work. That means you volunteer with some nonprofit agency that's registered with the IRS, church, soup kitchen, Salvation Army, Boys and Girls Club. I don't care, as long as it's an IRS recognized nonprofit. 30 hours, document those 30 hours. And I want that done between now and December 1, 2025. Do you have any questions about what you have to do to get the benefit of HIDA? All right. Understand, I'm still holding jail time over your head. Make my tail wag, or you probably will go to jail. You understand that? All right. Now, I have to say this, or I will not sleep tonight. Dude, I am glad I didn't have your problems as a kid. But with respect, with sympathy, I want you to hear what I'm about to tell you. The world does not give a shit if your life sucks till you're dead because of the problems you had in your youth. The world doesn't care.
Love this
Preach.
judge.
Okay?
Oh
If
my
I had a
God.
magic wand, I would tap you on the head and give you a perfect childhood. I can't do that, but I can tell you what I know after 40 years in this business. Dude, you got to make your own future. Your past does not define your future. Your past sucks. I hear it. All right? I'm sympathetic, but man up. Every morning you get up and make good decisions. You work hard. You sacrifice now so you don't have to sacrifice when you're 50 and 60. Because if you don't start doing things better, you know what you're doing? Your child is going to have the struggles you've had. You want boy or girl? Girl. You want that for your little girl? Hell no. Quit focusing on the past, the things that didn't happen the way they should have, and seize the future, man. All right, I'll sleep tonight. Anything else?
Damn, judge.
I like this judge.
I like this judge. I mean, he's like, he's working with the guy. He's saying, hey, can we find some workaround? Because I know shit sucks, but I want this guy to fucking succeed. The judge wants to turn around and in 10 years see this guy standing in front of him in court as an attorney saying,
Yeah.
your speech to me, judge, changed the trajectory of my life, or being his fucking bailiff because, it's, instead of throwing this guy to the fucking wolves.
Or just being in front of him at Walmart holding his daughter's hand as they get stuff for projects.
Yeah.
See him out, hanging out with his daughter, giving her the father that he wanted to have.
Oh.
That's all he wants.
Behave or the judge is going to have the ATA bring the Undertaker and Kane to whip your ass. Tough but true love, most definitely. Wow, he is so great. He probably could have made a great counselor or therapist, but he's a judge. It's within his power to be able to, he's holding this guy's right over, he's like, he goes, hey, can you read this? It looks like he could be, satisfied under a temporary license. Oh, Loompa over here is just like, we'll knock the 2 points off of there, which will allow him to still continue to drive. We'll make sure, but the judge is laying down the law and saying, I'm telling you right now, here's what you've got to do. And I'm telling you, you show up for the first 2 months on time or early to probation, and they're not going to have you showing up to their office every single time. They're going to just want to make sure that you email them, give them the status of what's going on. He wants you to get your high school diploma within 12 months. It means you're not a senior anymore. You can go out in the real fucking world and find a job, and it doesn't matter what kind of job you get because you've got a driver's license that's going to get you there, and it's not suspended. Stay off the drugs, stay off the alcohol, move on because, get over the old man who's a piece of shit. We already know that. Oh, I love this judge. God, good night. You have a wonderful night also,
Good
Kippy.
night.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you think things not to do. Hugs and kisses. Thank you, Kippy.
Counsel. All right, he needs to go down to probation. Sister, thank you. You're welcome, counsel.
You have several other things to waive.
I'm ready. Been ready all morning.
Oh, I love this judge. This judge is on top of it.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys go and give a little bit of love to the man, the myth, the legend, Old Squishy's Gardener.
Yes.
He's the one that brings it to us. I'm just checking our time because I know that I know what time the expert's starting. So I'll be sending everybody over to the expert after.
Yeah. Half the time I'm like, what time are we? When are we? Do what now?
Oh yeah, we got until 9:50, and I keep checking to see if we get any police chases, and I'm not seeing any because
You would think we'd have more police chases, but I guess we didn't.
I mean, there is live on patrol, which it looks like they're just driving around, but I'm not interested in watching that one. I want to see like a popo like chase. One of you guys out in Los Angeles, it's that time of night. I mean, it's
I know.
like
Los
rush hour
Angeles, are you
traffic.
okay?
Yeah, well, they might be. They might be okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. You're
And I paid him, yes, it was, he said he'd take it in payments, but I paid him all in full early before we even took the car. So, you know, I don't see how it was 200 here, 400 here, 500 there. Yes, but he was paid in full before we even got the car completed.
And I see Ms. Langston has turned on her video. I'll put both of you under oath. You want to raise your hand?
Oh man, I love it. I will put both of you under oath. Would you like a cheeseburger with that?
No, but the boobs on this one chick.
I mean, those are some boobs. Just saying.
It's never the boobs you want to see.
Oh, come on, Mo. I mean, she is all done up. She's dressed in her tens.
She did realize that this was going to be recorded.
Right hand. Do you both swear from the testimony that you'll be providing will be truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Yes, I do.
Since thank you, Ms. Langston. I'll hear from Ms. Langston first, and then I'll turn to you, Mr. Mendoza.
Okay, so I originally called.
Hang on, just 1 second. Let me pull out the case file. So, Ms. Langston, I see that your claim is for $9,860 for engine failure negligent service. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, both parties are present in this case, and this is case number 39267. Go ahead, Ms. Langston now.
So I originally contacted Edgar at Mecca Automotive to see if he could come out and do a diagnostic check on my car to see what was wrong with it and what needed to be repaired.
The suspension's blown out, the seat's broken, and there's I don't know what that is growing on the floorboard, but it doesn't look human. Sorry.
Diagnostic.
I swear we had this lady that would come in once a month whenever I worked at a specialty auto shop. She would come in once a month. Hey, I need you guys to do an oil change. I swear to God, she lived in her car and she had more files than I've seen attorneys have in her back seat, in her front seat.
Wow.
It was boxes of paper. And just boxes stacked to the ceiling. You couldn't even see out the back. And that was if you could get the cigarette stains off the back windshield from the inside. And she would pull in and she'd go, I need an oil change. And I guarantee you, the first time that she pulled in, I walked out to the car. And because she was only about 4'1", and you know I'm 5'2", of course, and so you know me trying to move the seat back just so I could get in, I couldn't do it because there were so many boxes stacked up behind it. I was like, I can't drive her car. I feel unsafe getting in, and she would come in once a month. I was like, I'm not driving her car in. I'd have to get the guy that was shorter than me to drive it in. He was 3'2", so he would come in.
That's why you kept him around.
Well, of course. Arturo was still badass though, but you know, and then I would just say, yeah, you just go ahead and change your oil. Yeah.
Why once a month? I thought it was at once every 3 months.
She was.
Oh, that explains.
Yeah, I mean, she was. Yeah, I never understood it either.
He agreed that he would come to my house and, you know, put the diagnostic check in the car to see what was wrong. The findings from that were that the oil pressure sensor was not working. So we agreed that he would come back and replace that part. Then once that part was completed, we determined that from there that the oil pump was not working.
What kind of car is she fucking driving? This is a really shitty mechanic. Just saying. Just saying that's a really crappy mechanic because, okay, if the oil pressure switch shows that it's not working, you want to make sure that through diagnostic, you make sure that it's getting signal, no fuses are blown, that kind of stuff. Oil pressure switch could easily be bad, but an oil pressure switch will show bad if you have no oil in your fucking car.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because you have no oil pressure.
Right. You wouldn't have any oil pressure if you have no oil pumping through there. And as far as the oil pump go, most of those are sort of gravity fed. Like I said, what kind of car is she driving? Is it like a 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s car? And if it's a newer car, more than likely it doesn't have an oil pump. It'll just feed up through there.
Oh.
Through like vacuum. I mean, there is an oil pump, but it's internal and you have to tear apart the whole engine to get to it. So I don't think.
And we agreed that he would work on that to replace the oil pump. My car, originally the reason why I had called, because when the car started, the engine would immediately give a warning light that said it was, the engine oil was hot. Not that the
engine oil was hot?
I don't know if it tells me if my oil is hot.
No, the oil light might come on if you have no fucking oil in your car.
I mean, the radiator shows when it's overheating.
Yeah, and now they have the idiot lights that come on. They don't actually have a gauge. That's why I'm wondering what year model she has. That reminds me,
It's a PT Cruiser.
Never get a former Dodge Charger cop car. The oil pump is passive and idling a lot. It ruins it. Yes. Most oil pumps are passive now. That's why I'm saying, what kind of car does she have? This makes a big difference.
The car was overheating, but the engine oil was hot, and to immediately turn it off. So
okay. I can tell you right now what the problem is the idiot light was coming on saying she had no fucking oil in the car. Which would mean that if you run a diagnostic, it would say the oil pressure sensor isn't working because there's no oil pressure, because there's no oil in the car. You can't have pressure. No oil, no pressure.
Wouldn't that be something you would check in addition to a diagnostic? Or
that would be the first thing that you would check. When was the last time you had your oil changed? I mean, seriously, that would be the first thing that you would check. Your oil light's coming on. First thing that you do is you drain the oil, put new oil in, new oil filter. Shit, we had this one lady come in that had purchased a car from a used car dealer. And she was just like, I think it's still under warranty, because there was a warranty at that point in time for certain models of Civic. Okay, that warranty is because it would get a cracked block, and the block would crack and it would leak all the coolant out of it. And there was a warranty on it. We'd replace the engine on it free of charge.
Oh.
I think it was like 120,000 miles. That thankfully that's long since passed. But we would replace the engine because the engine had a flaw in it that would cause it to crack. That being said, she comes in and goes, I've got my oil light on. And so I pull the oil filter, and I'm just like, well, there's a hole in your fucking oil filter. It looked like someone drilled a hole in it. I was just like, you need a new oil filter. We're going to change the oil out, put new oil in it, called over the shop supervisor. And I was like, this is what the problem was. I found that there was a hole in the oil filter. Someone had drilled a hole in the side of it. I don't know what the deal is. He goes, I think she's trying to pull a fast one. He goes, let me handle this. He takes the oil filter, checks everything, puts the oil filter on, tightens it down. 3 days later, she comes back. It's leaking oil again. Call the shop supervisor over. He comes out, and the oil filter had been unscrewed from her car. And he was just like, top it off, tell her it's out of warranty, and send her on her way. Never saw her again. Yeah, she was pushing to get a new engine, and she was sabotaging her own car to get a new engine.
that is a bold strategy.
shit. I had this one lady that came pulling in, and the car's just dunk, 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 pulls in, shuts off the car, and goes, "There's something wrong with my engine. I can't figure it out." I pop the hood, and 2 rods are punctured through the engine block, hanging out of the engine block. And I was like, she goes, "How much for the diagnostic?" I was like, "The diagnostic is free. You need an engine. How much is that going to be?" Quoted her the price, I think at like $5 or $6 grand. She was like, "Oh, I ain't paying that." And I was just like, "Ma'am, you need an engine." She was like, "I don't understand." I go in there with a flashlight and I take the piston and I kick it back and forth inside of her engine block. I'm like, "You have punctured both pistons through your engine block. You need an engine. I'm not paying $5,000. You can screw yourself." She gets back in her car, cranks it up, and out of the fucking.
How does one depiston their engine?
Overheating it and running it really hard. I blew an engine on a Toyota Celica doing 60 miles an hour, and instead of hitting 4th gear, I hit 2nd gear.
Oh,
that was a pretty mess. It immediately spewed oil all over the engine bay, and it was rattling like crazy. I mean,
no.
$400 later, I had a new engine in there in about 3 hours, something like that. But it was a little Celica. I mean, just pull, swap, boom, see you bye. But yeah, had an oil filter O-ring that was still on the block, and it leaked from there. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that happen before. I've actually done that before. Put it on, crank the car up, and they're starting, you back the car out and you're like, "What the hell is that oil trail?" And you pull the car back in, put the car back up, and you take the oil filter off, and you find out that you didn't get the old O-ring off the oil filter. Yeah, I've had that happen before. It's a mess. The car was just sick of her. Yes. That's absolutely right. Oh,
the car had to be towed to Mecca Automotive for him to work on it. He worked on replacing the oil pump, draining all the oil out, replaced the new pump. And that from there was a couple other things that had to be done, like the oil had to be put in. Some additional seals and stuff had to be replaced from, taking it apart to repair. Once that was all done, this ended up being around June 10th. I was called into the.
I mean, on a Honda, the oil pump sits up front, and like on the older Hondas, the oil pump sits right up on front, and then it actually pumps through, and it has its own little thingamajigger in it. So I mean, okay, so she's got a Honda. You replace the oil pump, you have to replace the seals. I got you, sweetheart.
Car was done and it was ready to go. The engine was on and it was running. When I got to Mecca Automotive, the engine was already on. The car was on, and Edgar said he needed to take a test drive. So he pulled out on the street, went hardly anywhere at all because he was back within 5 minutes, and you could hear that he had just gone down the street, like maybe a block or two. He came back and he said, "Okay, everything seems good to go. You can go ahead and take the car home. It's done." I had already paid him in advance for.
No.
Yeah, don't maybe pay for in advance.
You pay after the work is done, and I think right now it sounds like she does have a claim. I mean, we had a guy. We had a guy that pulled out of the shop being a dumbass, doing like 60 miles an hour out of the shop bay, and hit a brand new little it was S2000 little sports car. Sideswiped the thing, just nailed this chick's car. She was breaking it in for her first oil change.
Oh.
Demolished it. Because he was being a smart ass, and he backed it out is what he did. Destroyed both cars. Hell, this is the same guy that goes, "Oh, I've got the engine running." Yeah, he left the engine running for like a couple of hours, never above idle. As soon as he took it out on the street, he blew the engine on it after replacing it. Yeah, that was fun. I've seen some pretty. I mean, he replaced it. They put a new engine in it after that, but it was just like that guy was so horrible.
Or the replacement oil, the oil pump, and all of that work that needed to be done prior to him calling me and saying the car was ready to be picked up. So I left that day, I got in the car and I left, and I went approximately 500 feet down the road, and my car started making a very loud pinging and clacking noise. So I called back to my significant other, Aaron, who was there with Edgar, and said that the car was making noise. So they immediately told me to bring the car back, which I did. I turned around and I was back probably within less than 5 minutes. I was not able to go very fast. And the farther I was driving, the louder and louder the noise was getting. So when I pulled into back to the automotive shop, they said that Edgar said it sounded like I blew a rod in my engine. And
yeah,
that he would have to look at it further from there. So within the next week, he called me back and said that it appears that the engine oil was not pumping through the engine, which caused it to continue to get overheated. The oil got too hot and the bearings melted and blew through the engine, causing the engine
pistons
to no longer be eligible to drive.
Eligible to drive?
we
Like eligible
called
to vote?
several mechanics.
No, it's a bad candidate for motor transportation. This is what
For
you
continued
become.
forward motion.
Yes, it's not gonna work. Yeah, he probably did set the timing on the oil pump correctly. Because
Wait, it has a timer on it?
yeah, it has a timing sync. It syncs up with the engine.
Well, that
and
makes sense.
It happens. It happens. I've seen it happen before. I mean, I won't say some of the bad stuff that I've done. But let's put it this way: the oil pump so you have your head and your crankshaft that have timing on them, and they turn in unison, so that way your valves open at the right point in time for the combustion to work. So you have that timing. On some of the older Hondas, I think some of the Toyotas have that too. The oil pump actually has to be set in a specific point. And that way the oil pumps through and it hits the entire engine. And not all of them, some of them do. Some of the older ones they have a spot where they have to be set. So
well, that makes more sense. Like, I mean, you could tell me that the car has to be tuned to 9:30 on a Tuesday, and I'd be like, for reals?
Okay. For reals?
Okay, like the dumbest thing I've ever done in a car. Okay, and I'd probably be the customer that you could do this to. I remember distinctly, like, one of my first oil changes, and bless his heart, the guy must have thought I was stupid, because he said, "Do you want 9:30 or 10:30?" And I said, "Well, it's 11 right now, so I don't think I could get an appointment at either time." And
he probably asked you if you wanted 10:40 or
yeah, or
or
something. And I was
5:30.
and I was like, "No," and he's like, "Your oil." And I was like, that is a you question. I whatever you decide, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. Look, I mean, I am your supervisor, but I don't know nothing about no
I don't know nothing about no cars. You just, there ain't no gas in it. You should just like them said there's no gas in it.
Pretty
much. Got some fresh fried taters.
I have to say, other mechanics to find out what they thought was wrong with the car, why it would be making that noise. And they all agreed that what would make the engine start making that clicking and clacking noise was the oil was not going back through the engine like it regularly should. So the there was a mechanic next door that had told us that he checked it with one of his tools that checks whether the oil is pumping through or not. And he said that the oil was not going through the engine. And the fact that the oil was not going through the engine is what caused the bearings to blow and the engine and have total engine failure. The mechanic next door also told us that he had told Edgar, don't let that car leave. It's not finished. It's not ready to go and not to be driven on the road. So
Yeah.
I feel that one, the work that Edgar did say that he completed was to replace the oil pump. He did, but it was negligent work because the oil pump was still not sending oil through the engine. When I asked Edgar what he recommended or what he would be willing to do to fix it, he had no, he said nothing. There's nothing more that I can do, nor will I do on this car. And that I am not of any fault. It's all your fault for driving the car down the road and the rods blowing and the bearings blowing through the engine was my fault for driving in the car.
And I would just say right now, that right there is way to lose business really quick.
Well, yeah. Also, is that the guy that did the repair work in the suit looking like a schmuck?
No, it's
rolling
not
his
him.
eye?
We haven't
Oh.
seen him yet. But that guy's going to come on. He's going to be the one that was all leaned down, talking shit.
Okay, wait a minute. So the gentleman who looks like he possibly got cast in The Hills Have Eyes, that's the gentleman that you decided, you know what, my safety, my car, I'm gonna put it in your hands.
Yeah. We had guys like that in our shop. They usually kept them in the shop and made sure that we didn't give them oil changes or anything. Here's a tire, put it on the rim and try not to destroy it. And then they would compete to see who could destroy it the fastest. It was crazy.
So at that point, there was obviously going to be no agreement. Edgar was not willing to help nor pay that, pay for anything that he'd already done. That was negligent work. And so that's why we filed the claims, the small claims. Now, when we were in the mediation room, Edgar mentioned that it was just people trying to rip him off for work done. Well, I had paid him in advance before I was even told the car was done and ready
Ms.
to go.
Langston, you have said that you paid him in advance a couple of.
All right. So we know that he paid him in advance. And guess what? We will catch up with that tomorrow because I'm going to send all you fine folks over to the expert. Mo may be joining experts. So if you're wanting to see more hotness of Mo, all you got to do is just, just go over and watch the expert because Mo's looking fine tonight, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know.
It's the hoodie. It makes everything look more professional. I'm wearing my Sarah Boone shorts.
Ooh. All right, everybody. We'll see you over on the expert. Have a good one. Peace. See you next week.
Bye, you guys.
Welcome our darlings to the pre-stream with Mo in the deep end and Shizzy Whiz Nut. Oh, sweetie, we ain't here to babysit your feelings. Bless your heart, we are here to laugh, react, and roast every stupid thing you do. You bring the clips, we bring the jokes. We're gonna mock you till our sides split. So grab your drink, mute your pride. We're gonna end